Today we're talking about polynomials. So to start out with, we have to learn what a monomial is versus a polynomial. So a monomial is a term with variables, numbers, and or exponents that are all together, no plus or minus signs in between them. So for example, like 4x squared is a monomial, nothing separating it. 7 is a monomial, it's just a number by itself. xy is a monomial because there's nothing in between them. Or it could even look like this, 6a squared b. That is still a monomial because notice it has no plus or minus signs. A polynomial, though, is two or more monomials added or subtracted together. So notice plus or minus signs are going to be here. So we could have 4x squared minus 6x plus 3. It's a polynomial with 1, 2, 3 terms. You could also have 6a squared b minus 7b squared. Two separate terms subtracted. Okay? Next, we're going to talk about degree of a polynomial. So degree of a polynomial is the degree of the highest degreed term in the polynomial. Okay, so for example, the degree comes from the exponent. So like 4x, the exponent in the x is a 1. So this 4x has a exponent of 1 or a degree of 1. Here, our exponent is 5, so it's a degree of 5. We want the degree of the highest degreed term. So our highest degree term is 5, so the degree of this would be 5. So on the next one, notice we have two variables here. We have an x and a y, so we're going to add them together. 2 plus 1 gives us a degree of 3. Here we have 1 and 1, which gives us a degree of 2. If there's no exponent, or sorry, no variable, the degree is 0. So which one is the highest? 3. So our degree here is 3. This one we have two letters. We have a 2 and a 1, so our degree is 3. Here we have 3 and 5, our degree is 8. Which one is the highest? 8, so our degree is 8. On the last one, we have a degree of 4, a degree of 3, a degree of 2, and a degree of 1. Which one is the highest? 4. So our degree is 4 for the whole thing. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about naming polynomials. Polynomials have first names and last names just like you and me. The first name is based on the degree, which is what we just talked about. If it has a degree of 0, it's called a constant, which is a number without a letter. Next, if it has a degree 1, we call it linear. Then, if it's got a degree of 2, we call it quadratic. Degree of 3 is called cubic. Degree of 4 is quartic. Degree of 5 is quintic. And degree of 6 is hexic. Then our last name, it depends on how many terms it has. So how many things are separated by addition or subtraction, also called the chunks of the polynomial. So if it's got 1, it's called a monomial. We learned about that in the first box. If it's got 2, it's called a binomial. And notice, y'all know these words. Mono is 1, bi is 2, tri is 3, so it's a trinomial. 4 or more, so 4 plus, would be called a polynomial. Okay. Moving on to the next box. Now we're going to talk about standard form of a polynomial. A polynomial is written in standard form when the degrees are in descending order, also known as decreasing order. So they are going down in order from greatest to least. So we're going to find the degree of each one. So the degree of a constant is 0. Degree here is 2. Degree here is 1. We're putting them in order based on these numbers. So I'm going to take this term. It goes first. Negative 2a squared. Then we have the 1. So plus 8a. Then we have the 0. So minus 4. That would be in order from from greatest to least. Then it wants us to circle the lead coefficient. So now that we have an order, it's the number at the front. That is our lead coefficient. Our next one here is 1, 2, and 3. So it's just completely backwards. We're going to rearrange 4x to the third minus 9x squared plus 4x. Now it's in order 3, 2, 1. And we're going to circle the lead coefficient. That would be 4. Our last one, we have 0, 2, 5, and 3. So the 5 is the highest, it goes first, 8p to the 5th power. Then we go 3 minus 5p to the 3rd, plus 2p to the power of 2, and then minus 7. 5, 3, 2, 0. They're in order from greatest to least. The lead coefficient now would be 8. So now we're going to be adding polynomials. When we add polynomials, we combine things that have like terms. Like terms is based on their letters and their exponents. I use different shapes to determine different exponents. So here, if I have 7x cubed, I'm going to put a triangle around that. 6x squared, I put a square around. Negative 2x, I underline. 9x squared, another square. Negative 4x is underlined, and then plus 3, the constant, I'm going to circle. Now I'm going to combine the like shapes in order from greatest to least. So our greatest was 7x cubed, the triangle. I don't have any other ones, so I'm just bringing it down as is. Then 2 is next, so squared. So I have a 6 here and a 9 here. 6 plus 9 gives me 15, so 15x squared. Now I have negative 2x and negative 4x. We add those together, gives us negative 6x. Finally is our constant plus 3. Notice it goes 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, the next one, 2x squared. I'm going to put a square around it. Negative 4x underline, plus 4 is circle. Negative 2x squared, underline, circle. Combine the like shapes. 2 and negative 2, those actually equal 0, so we're going to cross those out. Negative 4x and negative 5x is negative 9x. 4 and 4 is 8. We'll do these two examples in class together. Next, we're going to talk about subtracting polynomials. So the first thing I want you to do is to highlight or circle the subtraction signs in between each pair of the parentheses. So right here tells me that it is a subtraction problem. We're actually going to change it to addition, but because I can do that, I have to change every sign after it. Now I'm going to go back to my grouping like I did in the previous problems. 7x cubed is a triangle, 6x squared is a square, underline the negative 2x. Negative 9x squared plus 4x minus 3. Combine the like shapes. Starting with triangle, 7x cubed, then I have a 6x and a negative 9x squared, so that'd be negative 3x squared. Negative 2x and positive 4x gives me a positive 2x, and then the minus 3 at the end. All right, the next one, same thing. We're going to circle the subtraction, change it to addition, change every sign after it. And now I can combine the shapes. So 2x squared, underline, circle, square, underline, circle. Combine 2 and a positive 2, that's 4x squared. Negative 4 and positive 5 is a positive 1x. 4 and negative 4, those 0 out, so that would be our answer. We're going to do these two examples in class together.